Maria, you've had a busy day. Let's talk about what has been going on in Brussels. We've seen Christine Lagarde, the president of the ECB there. She was briefing the leaders, but I understand the security around that briefing was a little tighter than normal. What do we know about that security? Why was it there? And what did she say?
Very, very tight. And Guy, it tells you a lot about, obviously, the vibrations that we're seeing on a daily basis at this point. Any comment can really change sentiment. But just to set the scene before we get to that, this is a European summit. And Guy, you know very well, these summits are very political. They talk about migration, they talk about foreign policy, they talk about political issues. And today it was completely eclipsed by the situation in the stock market, by the situation with the banks and the economy. Now, you're very right. Christine Lagarde did participate in the morning. This is the fourth time in a week that we hear from the head of the European Central Bank. And we're told, essentially, she told European leaders, hammer down this message. We do not see a trade-off between price stability and financial stability. The European Central Bank is going to take care of both, and also repeated this idea that our banks are strong, they're well regulated, they've got the capital, and they've got liquidity. I was told by two people who were there that the message overall was one of reassurance, that it was calmness, and they walked out of it feeling relieved. Now, the idea, maybe you can argue a lot of this is wishful thinking for a lot of European leaders today, is that this was a very shaky day, but it is a Friday. Maybe people are want to close positions and wind down for the weekend, and then on Monday we start on a new note. But I was told overall the impression they got from Christine Lagarde was one of, let's just be calm. It has been very turbulent, but things will calm down. Of course, the jury on that one, well, you know, we'll see what markets do.
Well, exactly, and that's what prompted, right, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz to talk about Deutsche Bank being strong, being profitable. Whenever we hear that on the market side, we're like, oh no, if you said it, then there's seriously a problem. What did you make of that on the political side?
Yeah, and you know, Alex, you're so right to point that comment from the German Chancellor, because you never, very rarely, honestly, I don't have a recent recollection of a politician who comes out, specifically comments on the record on an equity move, comments specifically on a company, and will tell you Deutsche Bank is strong, has a profitable business. So that tells you a lot about the sentiment today. The idea that the German Chancellor feels, I have to come out and say, just do not worry, everyone needs to calm down. This is a solid bank, speaks to the jitters that we've seen in the market. Again, very rare for a politician to do that, because you could interpret that as either he's worried or making an endorsement. What he wanted to do, we understand, is to calm things down. And then obviously it kind of reflects the mood today, where there has been this idea that we need to really all speak with the same language and project this idea of stability.